What's the next thing you remember?
Waking up in the hospital with a detective asking me what I did.
The voice you just heard belongs to Ashley Wallace. The audio was recorded on January 14, 2009. 1 year earlier, Ashley lived a happy life with her sister, Bree, and her mother, Stacey, who is also her best friend. Then came August 13, 2007. Ashley, just 19 years old, had spent a fun evening drinking with her mom and was winding down for the night, unaware of what was about to unfold. That night would change everything. The next morning, September 14th, Ashley Wallace was discovered in her bed, unresponsive. Beside her lay an empty bottle of alcohol, prescription medication, and a handwritten letter. The letter contained a detailed confession to 2 killings, the death of David Castor, and the murder of Michael Wallace, Ashley's own father. But here's the thing, Ashley never wrote that letter. In 2007, the otherwise peaceful town of Clay, New York, was shattered to its core. And the truth behind what happened to Ashley that night would expose one of the most chilling serial killers the state of New York has ever seen.
I need an ambulance. My daughter, I believe, has taken some pills.
Is that her?
Oh, she's throwing up. She left the letter.
What?
Left a note. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God, this is not happening.
The year is 1999. In the quiet, small-town streets of Weedsport, New York, 11-year-old Ashley Wallace grows up surrounded by family, her father Michael, her mother Stacey, and her younger sister Bree. While Ashley cherishes the time she spends with her father, a hard-working mechanic, it is her mother Stacey with whom she shares an unbreakable bond.
She was my best friend. Me and her could just sit out and have hour-long conversations, about anything. Everything and anything.
November 1999, Ashley is unaware that the relationship between her parents has deteriorated. Stacey is considering a divorce.
Stacey came to me right after Thanksgiving time, and she said, Kim, I really want to leave Mike, what do I do? And I gave her the name of my attorney.
Stacey, however, pushes back. With the holidays just around the corner, she feels the moment isn't right. She promises to revisit the idea of divorce once the new year arrives. But Ashley can't help but notice a shift in her mother. Stacey is growing increasingly short-tempered, her behavior turning sharper and more hostile with each passing day.
More of the discipline came from Stacey than my dad. The more affection came from him, and the punishing came from her.
December 1999, Michael Wallace falls suddenly ill, complaining of dizziness and spending most of his time in bed. He visits a doctor explaining how he feels drunk, even if he hasn't been drinking. The doctor treats him for an ear infection and sends him home. But the truth is, Michael is being poisoned. December 24th, Christmas Eve, Michael attends a holiday dinner at his mom's, but looks worse than ever.
The first time that I noticed my brother, he was like bloated. His face was bloated, his hands were bloated. I asked him what was wrong, and he said, I haven't been feeling well. I got a cold, that kind of stuff. Okay.
As the days pass, his condition continues to deteriorate. January 11th, 2000. Ashley Wallace's life takes a disturbing turn for the worse. After coming home from school, Ashley finds her father asleep on the couch, as he has been most of the time for the last few weeks.
Came home and I called my mom to tell her that I was home, and he was laying on the couch. I got off the phone with her and I turned the TV on. I remember him making this funny noise. He put his arm up, then he put his arm back down, and that was the last time that he moved. I left to go get my sister, and I got home, and when I got home, Stacey had just got home too because she was going to take my dad to the doctors. I remember I was standing right behind her, and when I looked in, my dad's feet were this purple color.
Michael is rushed to the hospital in a desperate attempt to save him. But despite the doctor's best efforts, there is nothing more that can be done. Michael is gone, the apparent cause of death, a heart attack.
I was there for a half hour with him by myself, not knowing that if I had known what I know now, he wouldn't be... I could have helped him.
When Stacey Wallace is asked if she wants to have an autopsy done on her husband, her answer is no.
Stacey, are you going to have an autopsy? She looked at me and she says, Rosie, you know he didn't like being cut up in surgery and everything like that. She says no. She said Michael would want us to kick back, pop a beer, have a good time, you know, that type of thing. Not cry over him.
I just never understood why she didn't cry. I always thought it was because she didn't want me and my sister to see her upset.
The truth behind Michael's death is laid to rest alongside him. Left to raise 2 young daughters on her own, Stacey Wallace collects the $55,000 life insurance payout left behind by her late husband. She pours the money into renovating the family home, then whisks the girls away to Disney World, and just like that, the fun, carefree mother Ashley had always known seems to return. Her best friend is back. But something has changed. Something feels off.
She started talking on the internet to people, and she started, disconnecting from being a mom.
2001, 1 year later, in the small town of Liverpool, New York, David Castor is living a prosperous life, owner of a thriving heating company. After a recent divorce, he enjoys a comfortable lifestyle, one he quickly begins to share with Stacey Wallace, who in his eyes is a loving mother of 2 little girls. Right away, Ashley and Bree dislike David and don't want to see their father replaced so quickly.
At first, we really didn't like him. He said he didn't want to be our father and he didn't want any part of being a father. He already had his kids and he didn't want more.
August 16, 2003, less than 2 years after the couple met, David and Stacey get married. The wedding takes everyone by surprise, especially since no one from David's side of the family is invited. Not even his own son, David Jr.
They had gotten married and did not tell anybody. I had no idea he was getting married.
Stacey Wallace is now Stacey Castor. Without hesitation, she uproots her 2 daughters and moves the family into David's home in Liverpool, a noticeable step up in lifestyle for the newly remarried mother. For Stacey and David, life together feels like a dream. For Ashley and Bree, it's anything but. The girls want nothing to do with their new stepfather, and the tension that builds between them poisons the atmosphere at home, turning everyday life into an exhausting, unbearable ordeal.
David was miserable. My mom acted miserable. The only time they were happy is when they weren't around me and my sister.
As the months pass, David and the girls begin to bond. As Ashley is getting ready to graduate, she doesn't know yet just how proud of her stepfather really is.
If you could see the smile on his face at my graduation party, it's just like he's like a proud father.
But as Ashley and David's relationship improves, the new couple's love is deteriorating. Stacey and David fight constantly. August 22, 2005, 2 years after the couple got married, the county sheriff's office in Syracuse, New York, receives this disturbing 911 call.
Police communications, can I help you?
My name is Stacey Castor. My husband has locked himself in our bedroom for the last day. I'm just getting a little concerned because I haven't talked to him since 5 o'clock in the morning on Sunday when he locked me out of the bedroom.
Stacey tells the operator that the night before, she and David had gotten into a heated argument, one that stretched on for 7 grueling hours. According to her account, David had been drinking, eventually taking a bottle of Southern Comfort with him as he retreated into the bedroom, locking the door behind him and refusing to come out.
Has he ever mentioned hurting himself or harming himself?
Well, Friday night when we were arguing, he told me to get out, take my kids and get out. I could leave, and then 5 minutes later he said if I left he would make me sorry. I would be sorry if I ever left him.
Right away, the operator dispatches police to the Castor home.
Okay, don't cry. We're going to check on him, make sure he's okay. Maybe he's depressed. Are you guys going through something right now?
Well, his father died a month ago, and he's been kind of weird acting the last month.
When the sheriff's deputies arrive on site, they break into David's room to find him lying face down, naked on the bed.
On the nightstand next to the bed was a short glass half full of a green liquid.
On the floor beside the bed, police discover an open bottle of antifreeze, tipped on its side. Emergency responders arrive, but there is nothing to be done. David is pronounced dead at the scene. Everything about the scene points to suicide. It appears as though David, after locking himself away, had deliberately consumed a fatal amount of antifreeze.
My gut was telling me that there was something more going on with this. It just wasn't right.
One deputy discovers in the kitchen trash can a turkey baster with green fluid inside.
if this has got antifreeze in it, what's it doing in the kitchen trash when he's locked himself in the bedroom?
As the body is brought in for an autopsy, Stacey is taken to the sheriff's office for further questioning. She calls Ashley to tell her the news.
Stacey gets on the phone, and she had sounded like she was upset and everything. So I was like, what is it? And she's like, David passed away.
How does this happen again? Like, how do you lose someone that's such a big part of your life again?
Ashley is devastated. This is the second father figure she has lost. Yet she still has no idea just how much danger she has been living with all along. As investigators wait on forensic results surrounding David's death, Stacey remains free to walk the streets. And when David's will is finally read,
as David's will is read, it says he leaves everything to Stacey, his company, his house, all his vehicles, and nothing to his own son, David Jr.
is left with nothing.
I don't even believe my name was mentioned in it. My first feelings on that were my father really did not like me. I thought he was just pissed at me, like, wanted nothing to do with me and never wanted anything to do with me again.
Stacey started taking me and my sister on trips. Now she was actually spending time with us and spending money on us and wanting to be our friend again.
The year is 2006. 1 year has passed since the death of David Castor. Detective Spinelli finally receives the long-awaited forensic results from the case. What they reveal is damning. The turkey baster tested positive for antifreeze, with David's own DNA found at the tip. And the glass, the one filled with antifreeze, carried 3 fingerprints, all 3 belonging to Stacey Castor.
At that singular point right there, my thought processes go from probable suicide to almost certainly a homicide.
Blood tests also show inconsistencies with what Stacey had told the 911 operator. She claimed David had gotten drunk that weekend.
Friday night, he got heavily intoxicated, slept through the day on Saturday.
Even more revealing, the results show no trace of alcohol in his system whatsoever. District Attorney William Fitzpatrick and Detective Spinelli are now firmly convinced that David Castor was murdered at the hands of Stacey. But conviction alone isn't enough. To build a solid case, they're going to need far more than a few fingerprints.
Absent a confession or an eyewitness, it's a massive process. I mean, we literally have to interview hundreds and hundreds of people.
The ideal scenario would be to interview Stacey's first husband, Ashley, and Bree's father, Michael Wallace.
It turns out we can't talk to him because he's dead.
And that's when the trouble for Stacey Castor really starts.
September 7th, 2007. 2 years have passed since the death of David Castor. Stacey Castor is called into the sheriff's office for a second sit-down with Detective Spinelli.
I told her that we needed to close the case out one way or the other, and I need to have some questions answered.
She seemed nervous. She was pacing.
That's when the truth of the investigation hits her. She learns that detectives, working alongside the district attorney, have exhumed the body of her first husband. Their findings are chilling. Antifreeze had been present in his system, just as it had been in David Castor's. Then Detective Spinelli poses a single question, one that sets off a dangerous and destructive chain of events.
And I said, Stacey, there's 2 glasses on here. Can you tell me which glass it was that you recall bringing into the room when you gave him cranberry juice? And she looked at it and said, well, when I poured the antifreeze, and then she stopped and said, I mean the cranberry juice.
Those of us that were watching the interview went, oh my God. That was a Freudian slip that she couldn't control.
And she said, I don't like this. You're trying to frame me. You're trying to pin this on me, and I'm done. And she stopped the interview. It was apparent that Stacey was extremely nervous. We decided the next step would be to obtain wiretap on Stacey's phones.
Stacey is backed into a corner. She knows that unless she can find a way to outsmart law enforcement, charges for both murders are inevitable. The clock is ticking, but what the investigators have gravely underestimated is just how far Stacey Castor is willing to go to protect herself and bury her secrets. 1 week later, on September 14th, 7 days after Stacey's second interview, the detectives monitoring the wiretaps on her home are suddenly confronted with something deeply disturbing.
The investigators who are listening on the wiretap hear a 911 call from Stacey Castor.
I need an ambulance.
What's the problem?
My daughter, I believe, has taken some pills.
Is she conscious?
Yes, she's nervous. Yes. I'm leaning over her. Ashley, she's having trouble, I think. It sounds like there's something in her throat. Ashley. Ashley. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God, this is not happening.
Right away, police are dispatched to the Castor house on Wetzel Road. While Ashley barely clings to life, her mother explains that next to her bed is an empty bottle of vodka and prescription pills.
Is that her?
Oh, she's throwing up.
On her side.
She left a letter.
What? She left a letter?
Left a note.
16-year-old Bree Wallace, Stacey's second daughter, is in the room with her. She hands her a note left by Ashley's side.
Mommy, remember that I love you more than anything, and I did it for you and for us. I couldn't let Daddy be mean to you and me anymore. Please forgive me, Mommy. Please don't hate me.
In the letter, Ashley confesses to the murders of both David Castor and her own father, Michael Wallace, laying out in precise, elaborate detail exactly how she allegedly poisoned them. But something about the letter doesn't sit right. 750 words. Typewritten from start to finish. Even the signature at the bottom, the name Ashley, was typed, not handwritten. The truth is, Ashley never wrote a single word of it. By the time emergency personnel arrive at the Castor home, Ashley is completely unresponsive.
She wasn't talking, she looked petrified.
Her eyes are wide open, but she's not seeing anything.
She's rushed to the hospital, barely holding on to life. If she dies, no one will know what really happened.
She was in intensive care. They weren't sure she was going to live.
I can tell you that that is one of the lowest moments of my life. I would have accepted partial responsibility for the death of Ashley Wallace.
But there is one glaring problem with the letter. At the time of Michael Wallace's murder, Ashley was only 11 years old. Could a child truly have masterminded such a calculated and elaborate killing? Stacey's carefully constructed plan comes dangerously close to working, nearly enough to leave investigators convinced. But regardless of where suspicions fall, the confession letter changes everything. With it in hand, and unless Ashley wakes up, she stands to be held responsible for the deaths of both her fathers. And Stacey Castor, a woman who poisoned her own daughter and tried to pin her crimes on her, walks away a free woman.
My biggest fear was that Ashley was going to die.
Detectives are at the hospital around the clock surveilling Ashley's room waiting for her to wake up.
It was several hours for Ashley to work through whatever she had ingested and start to come out of it.
I actually woke up in the hospital and I had no idea what day it was. I had no idea where I was.
Before she can regain full consciousness, Stacey Castor fights her way through the guard demanding to see her daughter.
The next thing I remember is Stacey coming in and touching my hair. And I look up and I remember seeing a police officer standing right next to her. She said to me something like, "I'm sorry, I love you," and then she just left.
For the first time, investigators are finally able to piece together the full picture, hearing firsthand how Stacey Castor coldly and deliberately attempted to frame her own daughter for the crimes she herself had committed. Ashley's account takes them back to September 12th, 2 days before she was found unresponsive.
I'm really nervous because it's my first day of school. I get to my class and a lady comes in and says that I needed to go down to the office. The one detective was from Cuyahoga County and he goes, "I don't know if you've heard, but we have exhumed your father's body and we found antifreeze in his system."
What the detectives don't know is that Stacey already warned Ashley, making sure her daughter was on her side, manipulating her so she would be angry at the police instead.
Hello? Mommy, they came to my freaking school. They came to your school? Are you okay? I'm gonna be okay, but I'm really freaking out right now. Oh my God. That bastard came to your school. Do you want me to come and get you? No, I have to be here. All right, calm down and go back to class, all right? I love you. I love you too.
At around 5 p.m., Stacey makes a suggestion to Ashley to drink their troubles away.
I've had a rough week, let's just get drunk. I was like, cool, you know? What kind of teenager wouldn't think that was awesome? When parents just gave you permission to drink. It was weird, like how tired I actually got from finishing that drink. And so I told her I was gonna go lay down because I was about to pass out. Like, that's how drunk I felt off of one drink.
The morning of September 13th, Ashley wakes up feeling the full weight of the night before, a pounding hangover her unwelcome greeting for the day. She pushes through it, heads to school, and returns home later that afternoon. And once again, Stacey is there with the same suggestion, let's drink. Only this time, her mother's words carry a different edge. Let's get really drunk, she says.
I could taste the vodka and it was very strong and it made me cringe, and I asked her if she could take it back and put either more orange juice in it or more Sprite in it.
Stacey goes into the kitchen and brings her a straw. She tells her to put the straw into the back of her throat and to just drink it. Ashley does as her mother says, and passes out. Later that evening, Bree comes back to find out her sister has been sleeping all day.
I opened the door a little bit. My mom came out of like nowhere and closed the door. She's fine. I'm like, really? And like, to me, that was weird. Right then and there, I was like, are you sure she's okay? Mom's like, she's sleeping, and I hope she sleeps through the entire night.
The next morning, Bree hears a strange noise coming from Ashley's room.
She was making that noise when she was breathing out, and her eyes were all glassed over, and she had thrown up, and I called her name, and she didn't answer me, and I shook her, and she didn't wake up.
Even though she wasn't like responding to anything, she looked scared.
Did you think that you were losing her?
I did.
If it weren't for her sister, Bree, Ashley would have died in her bed 10 minutes later. When Ashley finally opens her eyes in the hospital, the two sisters are forced to confront a reality too horrifying to fully comprehend. Their own mother had just tried to kill her.
When I woke up and saw that police officer standing there, I absolutely knew that I didn't do it. And she was the only one there. So it had to have been her.
Upon hearing Ashley's story, District Attorney Fitzpatrick gives the order to immediately put Stacey Castor under arrest.
Made the conscious decision to arrest her right there on the property of the hospital.
But a Liverpool woman tonight is charged with killing her husband, and investigators say it appears this is not the first time.
What shocked the community was the idea that a mother would attempt to murder her own daughter to save her own skin, to blame her for the murders of her two husbands. What could be more basic than a mother's love for her child?
January 13th, 2009. The trial of Stacey Castor gets underway. 1 year after her own mother tried to take her life and pin her crimes on her, Ashley walks into that courtroom. District Attorney William Fitzpatrick stands as the prosecutor. He has spent months preparing Ashley for this moment. But no amount of preparation can fully ready her for what she is about to face, looking across the courtroom at the woman she trusted and loved her entire life. The woman who betrayed her in the most unimaginable way possible.
There were other parts of me that are still the little kid and were afraid of that mom look she was going to give me, like, I am so disappointed in you that you're up there testifying against me.
The worst part is Stacey Castor's only defense is to convince the jury that Ashley killed both her fathers. All Stacey needs is reasonable doubt from one jury, and she walks free. Fitzpatrick makes a bold move of calling Ashley to the witness stand as the first witness.
I want to ask you about the day your dad died.
I saw him take and lift his arm up, and then he made a breath, and then he didn't move again after that. So I thought he was just sleeping.
As Ashley tells her story, she's visibly upset.
I wanted to be sitting right next to her and holding her hand and helping her, and she shouldn't have had to go through that alone.
As the hour passes, Fitzpatrick then leads her to talk about the night her mother tried to poison her.
She came home and she was like, let's get drunk. Let's get just totally drunk.
Now, Ashley, I want you to explain to the jury, if the cup tasted bad and you didn't enjoy it, why would you drink it?
Because I trusted her.
What's the next thing you remember?
Waking up in the hospital with a detective asking me what I did. What did you drink? What did you do? What did you take? What did you write in that note? But I didn't know what he was talking about because I didn't write a note and I didn't take anything.
The trial stretches on for 3 grueling weeks. The evidence stacked against Stacey Castor is nothing short of overwhelming. Forensic analysis of the family's home computer delivers a critical blow to any remaining doubt. The letter was completed on September 12th at 2:27 in the afternoon. At that exact moment, Ashley was at school. She could not have written it. And in a detail that ties everything together, that was the very same day Ashley had called her mother at home in a panic.
Mommy, they came to my freaking school. They came to your school?
The letter was written on Stacey's computer account, and she was the only one home at the time.
I'd never seen anything like it before in my life. It's got detail about the death of David Castor. It's got detail about why Ashley tried to take her own life. Whoever wrote that note killed Mike Wallace and killed David Castor.
It wasn't a note. It was a confession. And it was Stacey Castor that confessed in that note.
Further damaging testimony comes from a close friend of Stacey's, who admits to helping her falsify David Castor's will following his death, manipulating it to make Stacey the sole beneficiary of everything he left behind. For David Castor Jr., who had been cut out entirely, the revelation comes as a long overdue relief.
It made me feel a lot better, like that he remembered good times, not just the bad time.
When the defense attorney put Stacey on the stand, it comes as a surprise, but prosecutor Fitzpatrick is ready.
Did Ashley poison him?
I did not poison him.
When did Ashley poison him?
I can't answer that question.
Through all of this, Stacey Castor is showing no emotion. And then prosecutor Fitzpatrick explodes.
My God! You lost 2 husbands to poisoning! Your daughter has just learned that her father was dug out of his grave!
Stacey Castor remains cool, calm, collected.
The case is now in the hands of the jury in the Stacey Castor murder trial.
It's now up to them to determine if they've seen enough evidence.
When the trial is over, it takes 4 emotional days for the verdict to come in.
Ashley was standing in the hallway and someone had said we had a verdict and she just dropped to her knees on the ground.
The people of the state of New York versus Stacey R. Castor, the jury's reached a verdict. As to count number 1, murder in the second degree, what is the verdict?
Guilty.
On count 2, attempted murder in the second degree, what's the verdict?
Guilty.
Stacey Castor is found guilty on all counts. She was sentenced to 54 years in prison.
All I could do was just cry because I was just so happy. You could just feel this huge weight just being lifted right off of you.
You're not just a danger to the general public, you're a danger to the people who love you and are closest to you. And I believe that the sentence I'm about to impose will remove that danger once and for all.
Honestly, that was the best day of my life. Because I knew that people knew that I didn't do it.
I'm just glad it's over. And I believe that my brother was there by their sides.
In the aftermath of the trial, Ashley and Bree worked to rebuild their lives, leaning on the support of family and friends to carry them forward, though the road is far from easy. Because of Stacey, a woman Ashley can no longer bring herself to call her mother. She is left to grieve not just the loss of her father, but all the memories she never got to make with him. Memories stolen from her before she ever had the chance to hold on to them.
She took away my dad. She even took away David, who would have loved to walk me down the aisle. It's just heartbreaking.
She says, as hard as it is to get up every day and put a smile on my face, I know that I have to, because if I don't, then Stacey won.
I graduated from college. I got my associate's degree in accounting. I work at a CPA firm and I'm a bookkeeper. I would have never done any of that stuff if I still was with Stacey. I wake up and I'm happy every day. I couldn't change a thing that I'm doing right now.
William Fitzpatrick, who helped Ashley throughout the trial, has developed a close bond with her. He promised to walk her down the aisle the day of her wedding. Although it was never proven, Stacey Castor is suspected to have killed her own father in 2002, the same way she killed David Castor and Michael Wallace. After walking free of consequence for her crimes for years, she died in prison in 2016. Stacey never expected that her downfall would come from her own daughters. Ashley and Bree's love for each other defeated a serial killer, and now living a full life is their best revenge.